And what's up, everybody? This is None Defense, host of the YouTube channel, which I'm sporadically coming and doing, and then I stop doing, and then I get busy, and then whatever. But more importantly, I'm still the leader of this task force, still unboomable. And this, I'm just going to quickly say, this is an introductory video. We have, some players that are considering coming over. And I'm out there, I'm doing active recruitment for some other teams and stuff like that, so this is just that video. I just wanted to just go ahead and just say some things and put it out there. So this is this is about the task force, because really at the end of the day, me as a person, as None Defense, the Boom Beach is a fun game. The individual goals are fun and all that stuff, but for me, it all comes back to the task force. All of my enjoyment in Boom Beach somehow is related to the task force play. I can do, when people ask in our team, or if I'm out traveling and people ask me questions about, how to beat individual bases, player bases, NPCs, whatever. I'm glad to help coach, and teach them what I know. But if I get to choose where my training time is spent, I want to train people how to improve team play, because any monkey can eventually figure out how to be better at player bases just by grasping the goals of the task force. If you are really good at looking at bases and learn how to really look at bases on a task force level, then you'll find player bases it's just easy. It's just like, oh, okay. So that's why I like to coach task forces more than anything else. So what I wanted to do on this video is tell you a little bit about me, tell you a little bit about my real life wife, Miss Boom Bitch Angie. I'll tell you a little bit about her. She is the breadwinner of our family. She, works really, really hard, and somehow through it all, she still has managed to build a very strong, very effective account. This is her Scorpion layout. When she gets bored with layout, she likes to change things out, and no standard layout will ever be good enough for my lady love. So let's see, she's still working on upgrading her landing craft, getting there. So we got some 20s happening down here. So you can see what's going on. She just maxed her gunboat, so pretty serious. She obviously has a maxed HQ, until the next update, of course. So anyway, so that's her. She does not smoke marijuana, which I do, and let me light up real quick. Alright, this is Gorilla Glue, which I'm smoking. Has a 22.1% content THC. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's really good. I really like it. And not expensive compared to the street prices I used to pay in New Hampshire. I live in Washington State now, where it's legal. It's actually a really good deal. So that was Angie. We're just gonna take you through. So if you're on this team and you're new and you want to get familiar with who the people are, that's what this video is dedicated to. Alright, Bart. Bart has a few accounts. He is one of our stronger guys. We do have other strong guys that will pop in, that go out traveling, and occasionally they'll come back and they'll hang out a couple weeks and they'll go out traveling. There's a lot of coming and going on this team. You kind of get used to it, but the core, these names, you'll learn these names. Bart. So Bart's pretty awesome. He travels around. His big strong account is very big, very strong. Lord Marshall is a real life friend of mine. He lives in Pennsylvania. Been friends with him for years and years and years and years and years, back when I used to live there, and was the only person in any state that I've ever lived that I maintain contact with. So that's Lord Marshall, very strong account. Didn't mean to do that. Alright, Don. So Don joined our team through the YouTube page, or excuse me, yeah, YouTube. Don't remember how he found it, but he found it. I think it doesn't matter, but Reversal gave me a little shout out highlight once, so whatever. Nick Hill. Now Nick was the guy who convinced us as a team in general to really lean on the Zuka attacks and like really good at those. And you know, as a group, we just figured out like, you know, who all was willing to just dedicate their time to just master it, you know. And it can never be mastered, but you know what I'm saying, like to just really say, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna be. And it, you know, what happened when we first transitioned over, and quick backstory of Nick. Nick came with us, or joined us early in our development as a team. Our system was still being dialed in. We were still learning how to do new tricks and all that, but our note-taking system and our teamwork system was not terribly much different then, a year ago, it feels like, than it is today. So, but Nick was there, and then he was like, wow, these guys are really, really good. And this is what he told us. He said, wow, these guys are really, really good. I'm not quite up to their level. I'm going to leave the team. And he left the team, and he went out and traveled, and he stumbled into a team that was really, 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 really good, way more advanced than us. So he observed and learned and all that stuff, and then one day he just showed back up and was like, guys, I want to teach you this stuff. And he started showing his stuff, and we're like, okay, cool, we can do that too. TT's been with us for a while. He came, we had a merger. There was another team that was used to be really, really active, and then they kind of started devolving into inactivity. Well, some of the more active, more team-oriented players decided to come over and join us. That was through a program we used to do called Booming Without Borders. That's where we would go to other task forces and help out and teach and train and all that stuff. You know, we're kind of dabble in Booming Without Borders now, but I don't do videos on it. I probably should. Let's see, Titan joined a long time ago. Funny story about him. When he first joined us, he was like in the level low 40s, high 30s, you know, kind of just right there. And we're like, hey, welcome, man, you know, you're looking good, looking like you're on your way, nice base and all that stuff. And then when he attacked and we watched his attack, it wasn't a terrible attack, but we noticed that his flare was like over instantly. Like he clicked flare, and before his troops would even get off the boat, it felt like the flare was already gone. And we were like, what level is your flare? He's like, level 1. We're like, you haven't upgraded? He's like, you can upgrade? And we're like, oh my god. So we had to teach him the process of that. But once he figured out how to upgrade the things at his armory, he definitely took off. So congrats on just getting there to as far as he did with all level 1 armory upgrades. So anyway, all right, Daryl. Daryl stumbled across us via the YouTube page. Daryl does not live in Holland. He has never been to Holland, and to the best of his knowledge, he will never go to Holland. But if he ever goes to Holland, you know, he'll think of me. The story there is, I used to, for some reason, I thought he lived in Holland. I don't know why I thought he lived in Holland, but I really thought he lived in Holland. No clue why. He's in Virginia, I believe. Great the upside of having a Daryl on your team. I mean, he's great personality and all that stuff. He runs a mean rifle. He's not scared to, you know, do some of the other things like the Zukas or a warrior. Well, and I've never really seen him do warrior, but I know he'll go Zuka. But he's really, really good at rifle. So when we need a rifle situation, we definitely kind of everybody has his name or in the back of their mind. I'm thinking. Oh, and he's not available on weekends. That's the downside of Daryl, and that's okay, you know, because he's busy, and that's all right. Lake, he came over from the merger I mentioned earlier, the one that let's see. Oh, it was Bort and TT who came over from that previous merger. Jeff just showed up. I don't think anybody spoke to Jeff. He's attacked a couple of times. He's got intel. Hasn't done anything to earn, you know, a negative rep, because we don't keep those people. If we don't like you in op, then we just kick you. You know, and it's nothing personal. If you're not going to talk to us in chat, then that means you won't let us coach you and just try to get you to understand how it is that we're working. So, but so far he hasn't earned anything to get kicked, but that could change. You know, I don't know. His attacks are just whatever. He's not hurting anybody, you know. the Reaper, we call him TR because we do have another member of the team named Reaper, so that gets confusing. So TR, he came over from the previous merger. What do I have to say about TR? Very coachable, you know. Always not the most skilled, certainly not, and he'll tell you as much, but very coachable. Always eager to try things. He looks at bases and tries to spot his own, you know, his best, you know, call his own plays and all that. So he's pretty good. And he let us know he has level 8 grenades, so we'll probably see those in action soon. This is Sika. Sika's been with us for ever. Still manages to get on and do some upgrades and get some intel. Here, really in the past month, we have been running his op attacks. You know, there are accounts. I'm on Sika. We've been running his op attacks. There are members of the team who give us access to their accounts, and if you ever wanted to be in that list, you know, just let us know. The benefit of that is it's on me to make sure you don't miss an op attack, because if I'm seeing it's in the, you know, in the 11th hour, so to speak, and you haven't attacked, and it's, you know, it's time to, we got to make some stuff happen. That way, either myself or Angie will jump on, put on the best attack we can. We try not to boost without, well, we won't boost without permission, but we really just would prefer not to boost those accounts, the ones that we just jump on. We just really would rather not. That way you can save your boost for when you are on the account, and you can actually do player bases and stuff like that. UD is the brother of Nick, real life brother of Nick, just as good as Nick, but he only has one account. Nick has 2. Nick Hill 2 right down there, right there, see it? Alright. Doesn't talk a lot. You know, I know he's pretty busy in real life, but he manages, obviously, to get his 52 intel, so to speak, and get his upgrades in and gets his attacks. He's kind of more of a back pocket guy, you know, like kind of save him towards the rear. You know, when we really need somebody to put something away, he's kind of on that list of a closer. Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter is, he's a tanker. No doubt about that. He's a tanker, but he's trying to branch out and learn some new things, so we're going to continue to encourage him. But he's been with us forever, and he will do whatever you ask him to do, or he'll try his best. But he is, you know, if we're all being honest, he's a much better tanker than he is anything else. Don, that's Don 2. None defense, who the hell's that? Let's see, Bone. Bone's been with us quite a while, and Bone, we used to have 3 guys on our team that would run grenade attacks. I'll say their name: Guinness Dog, Stoner Guy, and Bone. Guinness Dog and Stoner Guy had a terrible, shitty grenade attack every fucking time, and it never changed. There was never any waiver. There were no exceptions. It was a shitty attack every time. And then Bone would run grenades, and it always was beautiful. And was like, wow, thank you, Bone. Thank you for running that beautiful grenade attack. So, we pretty much made a rule. It's like, from now on, Bone's the only one allowed to run grenades on this team. Like, we don't really need them, except in very specific situations, and we don't want to waste time trying to game plan for grenades, you know. So the rule with Bone has always been like, hey man, and I talked to him about this a while ago, is like, it seems like to me that you're going through and you're looking for the specific, you know, like your best moment, your best timing, and all that. You know, and if that's what you're doing, just keep doing that. So that's his thing. He's kind of in the call your own play category. We have guys on the team that we prefer to just let them call their own play, find their own moments, you know. And not everybody can be that, not because we're not all qualified to be that, but, you know, we kind of need as many people all in work. And he never goes against the plan with a guy like Bone. Whenever a person calls their own play, you know, the plan is the plan, so he calls his own play to support the plan. So that's kind of the goal there. Nick 2. Peters. Peters is, man, when he first joined the team, he was so low. Look at him now, just getting right on up there. Not a lot to say about Peters other than he sucks at making statues. Like, let's go ahead and look at his base real quick. Like, I didn't realize making statues was a skill in this game, but he's really bad at it. Like, really bad at it. And he's made like so many masterpieces that are just really sucky. Let's make fun of his gunboat. Okay, he's got a good one there. 15%. That's not terrible. Okay, not terrible, but he's still pretty crappy at it. But we like Peters. He's really good, eager. He's been running Zookas for a while now. You know, just a good quality attacker. You know, like he does it. He does his thing. All right, Hex. It's actually, this is the German, what you see, and I'm not going to pronounce it, but it's actually 2 words, and it's basically Russian. Did I say German? Well, it's Russian, and it roughly translates into what the fuck. WTF. That's a rough translation. At least that's what he told me. He's been with us for a while. If anybody gets points for being the class clown, it's him. If he's not a co-leader, let's make that happen. So he's a co-leader, and he's been a co-leader for some time. And the reason was because one time in all of our coming and going, I forgot to promote one of my accounts to leader, and it fell on Bone. And for like a day or two, Bone was the leader, and it took a little while before we could get in touch with Bone to get him to sort all of that out. So we made Hex a co-leader because he's just easier to access. Not that Bone's not awesome, but Hex is definitely easier to access. Let's see. This is HT. That is, his name is Jareth backwards. He came over from a Booming Without Borders operation quite some time back. Well, the Booming Without Borders was a while back, and he has come over recently. He brought his buddy OnePlus, eager to learn, is just getting excited and integrated into our system, and it's a process to get caught up to, you know, our level. And again, it's not because we're really, really good. It's meaning like we understand the system so well, because we've, you know, so many of us have been working within the system for so long. So a lot of the questions, you know, a newer player would ask, our newer teammate would ask. Obviously, these guys don't ask those questions because they've been working on the system. Aziz rocks. Count on him. You'll see his names in the notes. When we see like an easier all Zooka solo type mission, that's when we're gonna send in an Aziz. Because he's really good at the all Zookas, but again, just being honest, you know, he is a little more prone to that silly mistake than say like a Nick, you know what I mean? So on the depth chart of Zookas, like Nick's up there, you know, Angie's up there, Bort's up there, UD, you know, they're up there, you know, but Aziz, how do I say this? But the attacks that I just mentioned, we kind of consider them for like team up attacks. Like we're gonna use those in conjunction with other accounts. You know what I mean? So that frees up Aziz for these little solo runs. And he watched and spent time working with Nick on how to do the solo runs, because Nick used to be our solo artist. But we got to where, you know, we needed to train other solo artists, and Aziz, he's signed me up. So that way Nick is available to help out on the team basis. I know I'm putting out so much information. I just want to show you, these are our guys. Yo-Yo's been with us for a while. I'm not sure why he's not an officer. So Yo-Yo's been with us for a while. And he came over from the last merger. The name of that team was the Super Saiyans, and they were a good team. And unfortunately, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this video and on this team have dealt with other task forces to understand the frustration, what happens when, you know, just the leadership as a whole just doesn't care. You know, when you have a bunch of members who want to work together so bad and want to do it and work and make this thing happen so bad, and then you got leaders or whatever, you know, so that's frustrating. And you get teams with great leaders and terrible members, and you get teams with great members and terrible leaders. It happens, and that's kind of why we go out and travel, because we're trying to, you know, help marry the two, I guess. So that was Yo-Yo. He's been with us there. He bounces around on some of our sister teams and for other teams. You know, the ones for the people who stick around, like Air Stort, who's never left, you know, and God bless them, they never leave. The reason we bounce so much is because honestly, we're addicted to opping. We love doing operation attacks, even if it means we miss a reward for an operation, just to go do another operation somewhere else. Like, that's us. But Stuart, he's been with us for a while, and he brought his wife. I'll go ahead and introduce her as well as a combo. That is Fierce Holly. Absolutely love Holly. Just a beautiful person. You know, she's a very busy lady. You know, if anybody's like, oh, she only has 10 intel, I'm telling you, this lady is a very busy lady, and to have watched her develop from level 12 to level 45, love her. Great job. Holly is when we have a win that's right there towards the end, and, you know, we know that she can get in there and maneuver and take the win, we're definitely going to put her name on it. Not the most fundamentally skilled, but when you're needing just a basic, you know, hookah around the corner position for the win, Holly's your girl. We love her. Absolutely love her. So, talking about Stuart. Now, I know whenever I do a video, I spend way more time talking about how much I love Holly than I do Stuart. And there's no reason for that. I've only seen one photo of this of Holly, and she only speaks so rarely, like only when she needs to. But anyway, I know I just praised Stuart. Holly, it was because Holly was so small when she got here, so it's like, oh, Holly. And Angie feels the same way. Stuart he came up to us reasonably strong, but he has been with us for a long time. So that they're married, you know, they're busy in real life, but they've been with us a long time. They always get their attacks in, and always do their best. Reaper, he came over from the Super Saiyans. Well, for that matter, so did Lynch and Raul. But anyway, so I'll tell you about all three of them. So Reaper, his name is John. We really like him. I'll be honest, and he knows this, I'm always proud of the fact that he's willing to try the things that he tries. However, he knows, and everybody knows, that he's not that good at trying the things that he tries. But he's going to continue to try them, and, you know, because it's like he's not trying to do the wrong thing. He's trying to do the right thing. He's still just working on the timing and all that. So you'll notice no one's ever jumped on him and chat about, like, hey, man, you know, stick to hookah or whatever. He is a good hookah user. But that's what we want. We want you to keep trying things. And if it fails, fuck it. It fails. We'll know to not count on you to do it next time. But it doesn't mean we don't want you to keep trying it. You know, I mean, we want you, as long as it's working within the plan, obviously. But yeah, absolutely. So don't be afraid to keep working. And he's gotten much better, and he'll continue to improve. You know, so that's why it's not even a big deal. And we're talking about the high level, really fancy tactics. Lynch, he came over. He really not much to say about Lynch. It's fairly quiet. He gets in his attacks and pretty strong. Like, I mean, I honestly couldn't tell you anything more about Lynch there. So that's my entire backstory on Lynch. But he's been with us for a while. He came over with the Saiyans. Raul has been with us. He's, you know, learning. Let me see, what can I tell you about Raul? I think what I like most about Raul is, I noticed it particularly when I lived in New Hampshire. I guess because of the time zone when I did most of my booming. I prefer to boom early in the morning. I guess it kind of coincided with the time that he was booming, wherever he's from. I know it's somewhere in India, but I don't think it's Dubai, but wherever, it doesn't matter, somewhere over there. So we had a lot of chances, opportunities to talk. Since I moved, you know, we don't seem to bump into each other and chat as often, but what I always liked about him in terms of as in operations, he's always just been eager to learn the things, to work with the system, never given anybody any problems in chat, and has good ideas and asks great questions. So there you go. Nate Boom Boom, yes, I'd like you to stay on the team, so just stick around. We'll get to know you. I don't know anything about you, but as you can see, I try to get to know everybody on some. I'm not chatty, You know what I mean? Like, I'll ask a little question here or there, and I'll just kind of store it. So if I was like, hey, what do you do? And you tell me you bake cheese. And I'll be like, okay, Nate the cheese baker, got it. And then, you know, a week later, I'll be like, oh, sweet, I'm going to drop some baking cheese jokes on Nate, because that'll just be fun. Let's see. So anyway, so he's over here. He was on Don's team, and this isn't his main account. His main account, I don't believe, it doesn't matter, I may be wrong, but he was on a team that Don was on previously before Don found us. And you know, and again, just no secrets, but the recruitment push, Nate, is we would like you to be on your team, you and your buddy Lawless, who is real name Joe, or who is his main account is Joe. We'd like y'all to be on the team. If you got any others, it's not a secret that we've got some room down on the bottom, some low levels that I can easily bump out to make room for you. So yeah, man, there it is. Just telling you a little bit about the team. And if you have anybody else that's good quality people, you know, no douchebags, no numbskulls, and you got to be coachable, because you're gonna screw up. Trying the things that we do, you're gonna screw up. Absolutely, you're gonna screw up, and that's okay. You know, as long as you're continuing to try and continuing to improve, and whenever you do screw up, take the coaching. You know, that's why it's there. That's why we're giving it. We're not coaching you to hurt you. We're coaching you to help you. So, and that's for anybody. Gotta have thick skin on this team sometimes. Let's see, GC, he came over with the merger. He's been with us since the merger. Pretty strong. Yeah, definitely consistent. I mean, he gets it in his attacks. I've mentioned we have no intel requirements. Don't want intel requirements. Don't need intel requirements. Ali is from Pakistan, and he's a younger man, 17, I believe, but he's in school. He occasionally will be unavailable for, you know, major boom beach operations, particularly during like any exams period or whatever. But he's a very intelligent kid. He came to this team already skilled, you know, like beyond his level. Like, you could tell, like, he really understood the principles of what was going on, but you know, he was kind of too too ahead of himself, and so there was kind of a point, is like, you know, whoa, yo, slow down, grasshopper, slow down. Like, look, clearly you're really good at what you're doing, but you're doing, you know, you're trying things that you're just not, your account just isn't quite ready to try, and that's why you're failing. So we got to teach you to work within your abilities a little better. So that was Ali. But once we kind of got him to, yeah, I guess a good way to say it is, just because you can hit the beach, you know, with everything you got, doesn't mean you should do that. You know, you should just slow it down, figure out your small individual steps, and that's what our team's about coaching, is just, you know, the little individual things which all build towards something much bigger. HB, he is a real-life soldier with the U.S. Army. He is stationed in Germany. He does speak fluent German, and he's been there for quite some time. He has 2 accounts on this team. Irvin is an account created by myself, given to Bronsoon, who Bronsoon left the team, and not in a mean way. He just decided he wanted to go hang out with some, you know, even more advanced teams, and thumbs up to you. Good luck, pal. He's still a Facebook friend, you know, he's awesome. But anyway, but so when Bron took his more active accounts, or sometime before that, doesn't matter. But the point is, Irvin is in HB's hands now. So HB, Hillbilly, let's see, what's his thing? Yeah, he always gets his attack in. You know, he's kind of like us, that, you know, he's not gonna cream, you know, crush intel. You know, he's not gonna get, you know, 60 intel a week. That's never been him, and we've never asked him to. Is report for duty, you know, work within the plan, and he's always done it. SCR, just coming right along. He came over from the merger. See, what I like about SCR, especially early, was he was one of the ones from the merger that was asking tons of questions, you know, like tons of questions, and he really wanted to do the things that we were doing, and he was just determined to figure out how to do it, and he's definitely gotten there. Now, when he first came over, you know, he had a bad statue situation, and just, you know, he needed to kind of rethink. You know, he was kind of all over the place, and he kind of needed to rethink and just dial in. But he was one of the lower levels that came over from the Super Saiyans that, I'll be honest, and I was vocal about it at the time, I was like, look, partner, you're now competing with me for spots on the team, so, you know, just don't be that guy. And he never has been, so we've never had an issue with SCR. OnePlus is a friend of HT, so he was on the team that we helped teach some time back, and now he's over here. Still kind of getting a feel of OnePlus. Don't have too much to tell you about him right now, but he hasn't stood out in a negative way, so that's positive. This is just Bort's second account. I think now we're getting into, let's see, Willow, that's me. Sergeant Lawless. Okay, so this is Joe. His real main big account is Joe, so that's from Don's team. So remember where I was, you know, talking to Nate? Well, I'm also talking to Joe. Joe, yeah, we'd like you on the team, you know, whatever. If you don't want to come, or if you feel loyal to your other team, that's fine. Then if that's the case, then take full advantage of all the information that we're throwing at you and give you access to. Take advantage of all of it and go back and work with your team and get them to do the things that you want them to do to improve. Alrighty. Silence is now Bort. Used to be me. I gave it to Bort. MPA does stand for Nuns Personal Army. I know with Bort owning it, it's confusing. Fierce Holly, we've talked about her. Blueberry is me. Blueberry is one of my favorite accounts. It has all resource reward statues, so that's just a fun little experiment. Y'all, of course, have met my other account, Grublet, which has all level 1 landing crafts. Super exciting. Bart is me. Mr. Bombastic is Titan technically, but I do have access to the account. Bronze Emmett, I know it says bronze, but this is one of the accounts that I had given him, and then ultimately he abandoned. And again, it sounds so terrible when I say that. No, it wasn't, you know, just like he was like, hey, he took, of the accounts that I gave him, he picked like his 3 favorites and went, and that's fine, you know. So and maybe one day we'll give these accounts to somebody else. Who knows? But we can't change the name on them, sorry. Mishu is me, Irvin is HB, Fancy Pants is me, Meezer is me. I'm holding this one for Lord Marshall's girlfriend, wife, whatever they are. She does want to play, but she's got to get a new phone or something like that, and this is the account that I'm probably going to just let her take over once she jumps in, so that way she doesn't have to start from the very beginning. Recruiter is me. Obviously, it's named Recruiter. I'm more likely to send that account out to various places to interact and talk with people. Bronze Partial is me. Buddy is me. Buddy is also the name of one of the most awesome cats you'll ever meet in your entire life. My cat named Buddy. And then, of course, you remember Hex way up at the top. This is his little account, Hexy, and I know it. He's Hexy and he knows it. We, you know, we had a spot open before an op, and I guess he just jumped in to fill it just cause. And I was like, well, you know, might as well have an active player, even if it's a low-level Hex. Might as well have an active player in that spot getting some intel and doing their best in ops as opposed to getting no intel. And Hexy makes sure he gets in his attack. So that's why I screw it, just leave him there. So there you go. So that's our team. I know this video has went long, but I've touched on everybody and a lot of things. So, and the message, if you happen to be just skipping to the end, the message of this video, which is to any of the members that are going to consider joining this team, is we enjoy working together, we enjoy being goofy, we enjoy being friendly, and we enjoy teaching and training and all of that. No intel requirements. You know, and that's pretty much it. You know, we don't have obviously, you see, we have no entry-level requirement, you know, like we are really free-willing and easygoing, but we want the balance of a hard-working team that does its best to work together to get the wins. So, okay. So there you go. I hope you are interested, and I guess I'm going to wrap this video up. I feel like I've been talking for about 30-40 minutes, and I've barely smoked this joint. Let me light it up as we close. Gorilla Glue. Anyway, so friends, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. As always, I want to thank all of you so much for taking the time to hang out with us on the stupid YouTube channel, which, you know, and I've said I want to put more videos on it, and I do intend to, and I'm going to continue to work on it, but, you know, it's got to fit into my real life, too. And there you go. So I'm wrapping up. So, again, thank you all for watching. As always, please remember that we are still unboomable, and as always, please be safe. Thank you.